That works. Okay, and then let me just move this. And I think that works too. Okay. I think everything's working. Now I turned everything on, I think. No, it's not on. So, oh, I just forgot to turn it on. No, that's right. That's right. Put that there and this there. And I'll move this out of the way. Some of these funky pieces. Okay. Let's get that. Yeah. All right. So we're getting ready. We're getting ready to do the Flower Farm Sampler Block 9. And don't forget, today's Wednesday, so the Moda Block had 6. The new pattern came out, block 14. I make 1, and I will have to pick my fabrics for. I haven't done that yet, but I'm happy to say block 9 was such an easy block to cut out. It was so easy and fun. So you have to make 2. Oops, it got shifted a little bit in. So there's block 1, there's block 2, very similar but different. They're going to be fun. I think it's going to be a lot. And block, this is the last larger block. Then we're going to get smaller. So we started out with 24-inch blocks in the quilt, really big blocks. Then we went down to these 16.5 unfinished blocks. This is the last one of those. And then the next couple of blocks, 10 to, I don't know if it tells you in the front, maybe it tells you. Starting with block 10, it doesn't tell you. I thought you would tell you, but it doesn't tell you. Block 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are all 8.5 inch unfinished. Then 15 is 4.5, 16 is 4.5, 17 is 4.5, 18 is 6 by 4 finished, 6 by 4, so it's leaves. So we're getting there, guys. We are over halfway. There's 18, and after this one, we will be halfway because we're doing block number 9 today. So we're gonna get started right away at 6 o'clock. The one thing that you can do that's optional is you can draw your line on the back of your B and C squares and your E squares. So you can draw your lines on some of those. So let's just do E and C. E and C. So I'm going to grab my ruler now. Oh, actually, I think my ruler is right here. Yes, it is. Do I have a pencil there too? Aha. Okay. So what you're going to do is on the wrong side of E and C, we're going to draw your diagonal line from corner to corner. Or you can do what I'm doing, which is draw the line using this ruler here. Draw those lines, and these make your stitch lines. So these are where you're going to actually sew. Oops. Pencil lead was a little bit silly today. So that's what we're going to do. I start right at 6 o'clock. Sometimes I'm a little bit late. Today I was on time. I actually took time, made sure I got time to rest between work and coming to help with this. It's not really a class. It's more of a sew along with instructions. It's not really a class because I can't give you the cutting instructions. You have to have your pattern and in order to do that. Some of these don't need lines. Oh no, that's F. Okay. I was like, some of these don't need lines, but that's not the E's, that's the F's. Okay, so I pre-cut all my fabric. Actually, I cut it this afternoon. It didn't take very long. I was really happy because some of the other blocks, oh my gosh, it's so much cutting. And these were really big cuts, quite large. Like they're a good size square. So not so difficult. I'm just gonna move that over there. So I'm using Tula Pink Roar. Actually, I don't think I'm using any Roar fabric in this. And I'm also using Oh, I just spoke myself. Her solids, and I'm using white. The white is a Northcott fabric. I really like it, and it's a good quality. I buy it by the bulk. Okay, so I've been shopping around and I really like that. So I'm going to encourage people to like and share and follow, so that you're notified whenever I go live, because I go live random, other than I go live here Wednesdays at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so that we can sew this block together. But other than that, it's just whenever I'm sewing. Yesterday, I don't think I went live at all. I was just busy doing other things. What was I doing? I'm trying to think of what I was doing. I was mostly just tidying up the house, putting things away. A little tired. The weather's crappy and it's been really bothering I don't know. I've got something going on with my sinuses and I've had it going on for a while. And it's just annoying. They say it's allergies, but I don't know. If you have allergies, do you have a lot of pain in your face? I don't think so. I have a lot of pain in my face. Okay, so I'm just drawing the line so that when we get started, we don't have to draw them. So I'm drawing lines on C or B and E. Whichever is easier to draw the line on. I like to draw it on pieces that I can see. And then that's it. This is actually a really fun block. I've never made it, but I've made similar blocks. And it's definitely a lot of fun. And it's easier than you think. Definitely easier than you think. So I'm live here on TikTok and on YouTube. So if you don't get to see all of it and you want to come back, it'll be on our YouTube channel, Quilts for Survivors. We make handmade quilts and we gift them, present them to survivors of residential school, day school, 60 scoop, and other trauma suffered by Indigenous people because they're Indigenous. No other reason. No other reason. I'm Indigenous. I'm an intergenerational survivor. My first husband was a residential school survivor. Okay, so I have those done. We're going to get started very soon here. Okay? So thank you for joining me this evening. Again, we are making 2 blocks today. Throwing my pen away. I'm using Armand here again because Helen is still at the spa. I haven't heard if she was finished. I was going to message her, but I can't pick it up till next week sometime anyways. So I thought, oh, I can message her later. So this is Armand. She's a 1946 featherweight. She has all her original parts other than the light has been changed. That's an LED light now, so it doesn't get hot like the other lights did. It gets a little warm, but this part doesn't get all hot. So I changed it to an LED. I did get the original light bulb, but I did change it out, or at least original to mine. And we're going to use her to sew the Flower Farm sampler. Okay, so this is block 9. You have to make 2 of them. All of the blocks that we have made so far have been 2. We make 2 of them. In the quilt, they're identical. They don't change. I've made many of my blocks identical as well, where I don't change them out at all. And some of them I've changed 1 color or 2 colors, or what else have I done? I've used, the pinks of the fabric and the blue or something like that. So I have lots of different things going on. Can you put phone? Oops. Just a second. Can you put phone on Do Not Disturb? Okay. I turned it off to speak off. So we have made 3 24-inch blocks and then so 6 16 and a half unfinished blocks. I'm talking unfinished sizes. Then again, we'll make a few 8-inch, then some 4-inch, or 8.5, then some 4.5, and then some 6.5 by 4. That is what we're going to make. So we're going to make all of the tiny ones. So we're just following the book along, and that's what we're going to do. Okay. So Let's see what we're gonna do first. I'm gonna put these back in order. They're kind of messy now. Where's my other? Oh, there they are. Okay. So I have my A fabrics. Aren't they cute? And then I have my B and C fabrics, my D fabrics, and then my background, which is white, just white, okay? You do need the book in order to get all the cutting instructions. Then for my second block, I've changed out the white and the black. I have B and C, which are a peachy color, and then I have the same white background. So I've kept that the same, okay? So what we're going to do is when we make this block, one thing that you should know is when we are making, I can cover up, I can't share the instructions, it's not my pattern, it's not my book, but super easy to follow. There we go. So what we're making, I can hold my book, is we're gonna make this block right here, okay? It's called paper whites. Paper whites, I don't know what that is, what kind of a flower that is, but this is the block we're making. So there's only 4 fabrics, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your background. All right. So it's super easy. In the cutting instructions, it tells you how much yardage you need per block, which is really helpful. I think in the front, it tells you how much yardage you need for the whole quilt. In each block, it tells you so you can pick from your stash, from your scraps, and it's really easy to have those, know what you need. Then it tells you how much to cut for 2 blocks. What pattern is this? This is Flower Farm Sampler from the book by Shelley Cavanagh. It's a fairly recent book, and we're doing block 9. What's it saying? So it tells you, if it tells you to cut 8, then you need 8, but you need 4 per block. So if you're changing your block colors, you're welcome. You need to cut half. So that's some, and then of course I cut all my background, what it needed, because that was for 2. So let's get started. This is actually not going, I don't think, in my brain, I don't think it's going to be that overly difficult, but let's get started. I don't have a bobbin correct. Well, if I run out of bobbin, I'll make a bobbin. Let's hope I don't run out of bobbin. Okay, so let's get started here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our B and C fabrics. Okay, B and C. Again, you need the book in order to cut these, but we're just going to work through it together. And if you have the book, that's great. So you're going to make 2 sets. These are just little, these can come off these little stickers. You're going to make 2 sets of half square triangles. So I'm going to keep take the stickers off. So I've already drawn my lines, so I'm ready to go. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch from the center line, or sew right on the line, which is what I'm going to do, because I use my special ruler. And I'm just going to sew right on that line. Makes it really easy. The reason I always draw my lines when I have my other machine, it has a long extended table. So it's easy. With this one, I only have a short piece of diagonal seam tape. So it's harder for me to line everything up. So I draw the lines. I just want to be as accurate as possible. And if that means drawing a line, then that's what I'm going to do. So these are done live. They are unedited because I don't have time. That's really the reason. I don't know how to edit a video, and I don't have time. And I don't want you to miss something, because I talk as I sew. I don't want you to miss something valuable in our discussion here. So it is going to be on our YouTube channel if you would like to see that after. And yourself. I always forget that this guy doesn't, you get used to your new machine, your technical machine, and then, you have to remember to push the needle down and, oops, pushing the, I might have ran out of bobbin already. Nope, there's still bobbin. It just came out. It just came unthreaded. Okay. All good. I'm just going to rethread it. And we'll be back in business in no time. I do find this one a little harder to thread than there. Okay. So what did I do today? Let's see. I did all my administrative things, or almost all of my administrative things. It's been hard to kind of sit there and do some administrative work when my head's been hurting. You can see I'm all stuffed up, and they say it's allergies, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, it was hard to do that, and then I had some other planning to do. I had to talk to, staff and let them know what they're doing and making sure they have everything ready for what they need to do. And then I taught someone how to long arm. Unfortunately, we had some tension issues. So there's a little bit of seam ripping happening. It wasn't too bad, but it was enough to make us, it's hard to see sometimes. Enough that we had to change it. I can't see it now. Oh my god. Sometimes it's easier without it. Sometimes you can't. I couldn't see it. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't even know where my threader is if I was going to look for it. I never knew. What? I think I got it. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. Here we go. Back in business, folks. So we're just sewing on. You draw the diagonal line, so on both sides of the line, 1/4 inch away. That's what we're working. I'm going to lift my foot and pressure foot, and then sew down the other side. I'm going to sew down these other sides as well. I love to chain teeth. That really brings me a lot of joy. I get a lot more done. I don't have these long thread to deal with. And I would just sew continuously forever. So welcome. We are working on block 9 of the Flower Farm Sampler. It's a pattern in a book by Shelley Cabana. And you can get that at a local quilt shop if they sell it. And if they don't, you can ask them to get it in, or you can buy it from a bookstore or an online shop. So very excited about this. Okay, so now we're done that. I will have to trim these over there, over at that cutting table. Thank you very much. You're welcome. I do have to sew these at the cut them over there because my other smaller cutting mat is too short. Too small. Too small. All right, so what we're gonna do, and always sew your half square triangles right sides together. I don't think I said that. I mean, if you ever made any, you would know that. There are instructions in her book. I am just sewing the way I sew. This is how I sew. So this is what I do. It's almost the Labor Day weekend. So I'm getting excited for a long weekend. We actually get 4 days off. We don't work Fridays. We work longer days, but which really seems to be working well. I did iron these so that they lay nice and flat. I find with the stitching on my featherweight kind of curls a little bit, and it just lays flatter if I press it. Okay. There you go. All right, let's leave that over there. So now the book usually tells you how to press everything. So that's what we're going to get started with. Laura, I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you on. I don't say hi to everybody. Some of you have long names with numbers. I know Laura personally. I've met her, and some of you just have easier names, like Mel. Hi, Mel. Easy to read. Sometimes I don't read it because I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. So it's not that I don't want to say hi to you. It's just See, it says okay joint. Who's okay? Well, I knew a guy. Actually, I taught a guy, well, he's a guy now, a young boy, soccer. And his name was okay. I don't think he spelled it just okay, but yeah, he was a really nice guy, actually. Okay, so we're going to press towards B. So whatever your B fabric is, and you don't have to trim these. Leave them the way they are. Don't trim them down. Okay, I don't trim them in this part. I wouldn't trim them right now because in the past, I've trimmed them at this point and I've messed it up. And then we'll send a bad word, but I messed them up and that's not it. So I don't want to do that. Okay. We're going to fold this down. Then we're going to do the next one. And then the next one. Setting those seams, rolling it back. I've already kind of set the seams when I press them so that I could cut them. But it doesn't hurt to press them again. So I did teach someone to long arm today. That was fun. So he, unfortunately, we had some attention issues that we didn't catch till a little later. So he's got a little bit of ripping before he can go back. But he was doing really well and he liked it. He goes, no wonder people like this. He goes, this is a lot of fun. And I long armed one. While I was helping him, like, I don't like to hover over people and be like, so I went and did my own thing. And that was fun as well. Okay. So let's see now. Now you're going to mark a diagonal line on your E fabrics, which we did. Oh, yes, it's supposed to be two. Step one, making sure the mark line runs opposite the seam. Okay, so what you're going to do is now these are finished. So we have these all done. Hi, Terry. And Mel's still on. So just welcome. We're doing the Flower Farm Sampler, Block 9. Very exciting. That was my little garbage. It's gone. It's fine. There's nobody here. The dog or cat can't pick it up. Hey, how are you? I'm great. How are you? I don't know which Terry you are, but hi. Because I have a cousin Terry and I have a friend Terry and I know some other Terrys. I have a Terry who has a little boy. I don't know which Terry you are, but hi. So now what you want to do is you have a seam. Okay, you have a seam on your half square triangle. We have not met. Okay, that's okay too. Good to know. So you want your piece to run, oh, they have it going this way. You want it to run opposite. Now this, it does say center and trim to a certain size. I wonder if I should do that, because these don't match up. Oh, I guess we're supposed to trim these. So let's go back. It says to trim them, and these are really big compared to these. So let's go trim them. I didn't realize. Okay, let's just go trim them. They're supposed to be trimmed to the size in the book. This is the size that they need to be trimmed to. I didn't realize that they were that long usually. So I'm just going to put the diagonal line and cut on all four sides as carefully as I can. Rotating it so that I'm cutting safely. Usually I just leave it, but this one, to ensure that it's accurate, I'm going to do what it says. And this is kind of how I sew. I go, oh, I'm going to do it. Oh, maybe I didn't need to do it. This will just make it easier for me to be a little bit more accurate. I think we want them to be finished at 4.5, or unfinished, sorry, at 4.5. Okay. So we're going to trim these. I'm sorry that I'm far away, but I am just laying it down. So this is this ruler is the size that it needs to be trimmed down to. And I know because of the angle that you're looking at what I'm doing, it may look like I'm cutting a little dangerously, but I'm not. I am totally not doing that. Definitely making sure that all body parts are out of the way. I'm cutting very safely. Okay. So any ruler will work as long as it's bigger than the size you need to trim down on. It's really helpful if it's square, because we're cutting it square, and if it has that 45-degree line. You just put that right on your seam and cut them, cut them, cut them. So there is quite a bit to cut off, but that's okay. And if you're the 45-degree line isn't perfect because your seam line is a little bit off, that's okay. It'll all work out. If all of them are a little bit off, maybe check your drawn line, make sure you're 1/4 inches, but you're following, you're using something to give you a better 1/4 inch. Do all the steps. Some people use masking tape or a seam guide, painter's tape, the diagonal seam tape, all of those things to help them be more accurate. They use a 1/4 inch foot with or without a ledge. I don't like the ledge foot. I have one for my other machine. I don't like it because I have to change it to do others to do half for triangles and other. There's a couple, and it doesn't work on foundation paper. Not that I do a lot of that, but I just don't. I don't like it. Okay. So now that these are the right size, let's go. Hey, Missy, welcome. All I've done, excuse me, is made my half square triangle. So I've done step 1 and I've trimmed them. I wasn't going to trim them originally, but I didn't trim them. Hello to who's ever watching on YouTube. Hello. So let's line these up now. So line it up according to the picture. So I'm going to make sure all my pieces are going the same way. I don't want to mess anything up. So what you want is you want your new piece with my 2 drawn lines to cross over this. And when you flip it back, you want to see both colors, okay? You don't want to flip it back and only see one color because that defeats the purpose. So make sure, so if I have my stitch lines going from upper right to lower left and I flip it over, I've got 3 colors. That's what I want, okay? Do you long arm your own quilts? Yes. Also, yes, I do. If so, what machine do you have? I'm looking at the Gallant. I don't know what that is. The Gallant. I have a Husqvarna. They don't make them anymore. Long arm. Yeah, actually, I have 3 of them. Well, I don't have them. The studio has them. I'm just able to use them. So today I wasn't long arming a quilt for myself. It's a baby lock. Okay, cool. I would recommend getting a long arm. I would not, or a sit-down machine. I would not recommend getting one of those frames where you put your own machine on, unless your machine has this massive throat. It's easier just to use a long arm. Why, when you can afford? They all kind of work the same. Obviously, they get better as you go. Just figure out how many quilts you want to quilt every year. If you're going to do it for a job, I would get a really good one. Not price-wise, but a really nice one that works really well. We bought what we could afford. They have 10-foot frames. I would definitely suggest you get bigger than 10-foot frames because sometimes, the donation quilts or even my own quilts are too big for that, or they're really maxed out. So I think I would prefer a 12-foot frame. And I do all free motion edge to edge design. I do some custom quilting, but that takes so much time. And with the donation quilts, once in a while, I'll do a lot of, all over. And then sometimes I'll do a little bit of the quilt in edge to edge. Well, these are, I'm going to get all of them together. Okay. There's that. Then we're going to sew down again. So I'm sewing down one side and then I'll sew up the other side. And I'm doing 2 blocks at the same time. I did change out my colors. So I'm going to have 1 block with this coral and 1 block with the blue. So I think that'll be super fun. I just cut my fabrics this morning. I've been so busy. Not even this kind of so busy. I've just been busy and tired. And with this kind of droopy weather, I've been kind of feeling less than enthusiastic. So yesterday it rained a little bit. My pool that I'm trying to put away got wet, so I'm letting it dry. And now today, should have put it away this morning, but I didn't. I thought, oh, I'll put it away when I get home while it was raining. So now it's wet again. And I'm like, I really just need to put that pool away before the kids get home and it ends up getting wrecked because I left it out too long. So I think I'll just go out there and put it away. I think it'll be okay. It didn't rain out really hard. So I think it'll be fine. I'll put it in the shed and it should be hunky dory. Okay. So just lining these up, making sure that they're nice and square, and then following the lines that I drew. So I didn't draw that center line. I drew a line 1/4 inch away from that center line so that I could be more accurate. I think I'm going to pick my pressure foot and put it back down. With the newer machines, I don't have to do that. I just hit my pedal and my pressure foot goes up. So it makes it a little easier. But this is still fun. So we are going, oh no. Oh no, that's just a seam. Okay. I thought, oh no, I folded something, but it's just a seam. We are going camping this weekend, this long weekend. I am so pumped. I can't even express how excited I am. It's my son, well, 2 of my sons. I have 5 kids. 2 of them haven't seen this camper, or they've seen it, they just haven't slept in it. Just me and Jojo, the youngest, have slept in the camper. So my middle son, who helped me purchase the camper, he's coming out because he gets a bed. And then Wallet gets a bed. He's excited. He's almost. And then we're bringing the cats this time. We've never brought the cats anywhere. But I've had the cat carrier out for about a couple of weeks. And they've been in and out of it. So I thought, I don't want them to go in and feel tortured. And then they'll be there. And then my son is supposed to bring his cat. We're hoping that it doesn't cause anybody any extra anxiety. But none of the cats have been to the camper. Only the dog has been. And she's just small. She's only like 4 pounds or something. And she's actually supposed to get fixed next week, but it's just too chaotic. I just don't have the time. And then so I was gonna change it, but then the middle, like we have our sewing retreat coming up, our gala. There's so much going on. I don't want to have to deal with a puppy in pain. So she's getting fixed after Thanksgiving. I figure let's just give her some space. I want to be able to spend some time with her as she recuperates from getting fixed. So hopefully she doesn't go into heat between now and then. I would hate for her to have, did I run out of bobbin? I think I did. I think, yeah, because I didn't sew in that, so I think I ran out of bobbin. I had said, I don't know, I even have any bobbin in there. I don't have one ready. I should have made one. No, I don't have one ready. Come on out. Shoot. This one, I don't do the 8 bobbins at a time. I just make them, I make like 2. I don't have to make more. Anyways, let's unthread. I don't remember how to do this now. And that's the bobbin. I always have a little bit of issue. Doing this. I've only done it a handful of times. I haven't done it very much. I don't use this machine all the time. If I think it's like that. No. Oh. Oh, I think you got it. I wound this around. So you can catch up if you're a little bit behind, or you can move ahead if you want. I am just going to, I accidentally wound this around that thread there. Okay. Oh, it's just getting caught up in there. What is going on? I don't like it. That's my law. This may not be the way to use it, but I don't want my school flying off. Nope. Hey, stop doing that. Taking one too fast. Ooh, that is way too fast. Oh, it's stuck on the bottom. Okay. This is about as exciting as watching paint dry. Maybe it's a little bit more exciting than watching paint dry. Not by okay. I cannot believe that school starts next week. I know some places they're already in school. But for us, school starts on Tuesday. Well, this will be in grade, oh my gosh, 5, and Joe will be in grade 3. And my older kids are not in school. I think my oldest son is going back to college in January to finish up some courses. So at least that was the plan the last time I talked to him about it. So I don't know if it's changed. I don't think so. There we go. I think that's enough. Now I have to rethread it, which is not the most fun, but it's not the end of the world. So that's always fun. Just seen a message comments. I'm gonna comment on read the comment. Hello again. Oh hi, Tammy. Nice to see you. Did something happen to your other machine? No. It went to the spa. It was getting cleaned. Anything that was wrong with it, she was gonna check it out. And I'm just waiting for it to come back. I don't know if she cleaned it and I didn't ask her if it was finished. Because I can't go pick it up till next week anyways at the earliest. So no, nothing has happened to my other machine. I'm just waiting for it to come back. And this is my camper machine, so it'll come with me to the camper tomorrow. As long as as long as I have room, it'll come with me tomorrow. I don't have much to bring out this time. If my parents are going, they said they would take the kids' bikes. Funny if they had room, or they might just bring the truck. I hope they just bring the truck, so it's not a big deal for me. For them to bring the kids' bikes. I'm just gonna leave them out. I'm just gonna lock them in the trailer. Not a big. I think that'd be fun because I mentioned before we live on a hill, live right close to the cross street. There's not much safe space for them to ride their bikes, and because they don't have a huge area where they ride their bikes, they don't ride their bikes as much as I did when I was a kid. I was all over that town. Different dynamics for sure, but okay, so now I gotta go back and figure out where I stopped sewing. So my machine should be back next week, I'm thinking. I kind of miss it because it goes faster. It has features that I've learned to love. So, although there's nothing wrong with this guy, this gal right here, she works beautifully. But I'll be able to take it to the camper and have some fun. Because, you know, you need something to do. I'm gonna be bored. The one day I was up there, I was up early, let the dog out, couldn't get back to sleep. So I watched a little bit of TV, had 2 cups of coffee, and still I didn't seem like anyone was awake. I didn't want to go bug anyone, and Joe was still sleeping, and I could have cut or trimmed or pressed or sewn some stuff. It's just a bonus block. And I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting there going, I should have brought my sewing machine, especially when there was just the two of us in the car. But anyway, all good. This time she's coming, aren't you? And I didn't want to bring her up and then have to bring her back. All right. Okay, home again. Yes. All right. So now we're going to just, like I said, these kind of curl. And I thought it was a tension issue. I didn't really see anything. So if you have similar issue, because I don't have this issue on any other machine, just my featherweight, where they kind of see how they kind of curl. You just have to kind of give it a pull. But the tension is good. My stitches look great. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the way it is. Okay, again, cutting over here for the simple fact that it's too big. I don't have a mat small enough to fit beside me and big enough for my blocks. Okay. So it says to cut them apart and trim 1/2 inch smaller than what we've trimmed them to before. Okay. So first we're going to cut them apart. So we don't need this one. We need the one that's 1/2 inch smaller, which is that one. Do you need to have all of these rulers? Absolutely not. Does it help to have all of these rulers? Yes. Why do I have so many rulers, you might ask? 2 reasons. I am part of a subscription box, and I've gotten a lot of rulers through there. Some people have bought me rulers just out of, random, just a surprise. I had an anonymous gift. I received some rulers through Olfa. I won, I don't know, a gift package. You enter and you could win rulers. I won a bunch of supplies from Olfa. I think I'm saying it right. And they actually, and then when they found out the work that I'm doing, they sent the studio ruler. So I got some, and the studio has some, and that was awesome. So you can trim these with your Clearly Perfect slotted trimmer. So there's 2 ways you can do this. So one way is press them towards the background. Press them and then trim. So then you would take your ruler, you would do what we did before, and you would trim down to that size. Okay, so you can do that. That works. That works really well. I'm going to turn it. So you can do this with any square ruler as long as it's bigger than what you need. Okay, and then you get a fun, look at that. Is that fun? Or you can take your Clearly Perfect. There's a line here, and then there's your stitch line. So I'm going to line up my stitch line on the bottom of my triangle, on the stitch line on the ruler. Then this center line with the stitch, I can use this center line. And then everything is accurate and precise. Right? You don't want it to be, I wouldn't want one color to be bigger than the other. Now, there we go. Now, I kind of wish these are not coming out as nice as the other. I should have trimmed them down. I should have just left. I had known it, I would have just left. Because then they would be, I'd have them more accurate. but that's okay. Live and learn. If I was to make these again, I would cut my E squares half an inch bigger, and then I wouldn't trim down. I would just trim at this point so that everything is really, really even and really accurate. So note to self. Yeah. Well, doing the peachy color first, and then I'll do the blues. So depending on what ruler you use, you just have to know if you have to press before or after trimming. That's all you have to know is it a press before or after? And there's no right or wrong way to do this. You gotta use what works best for you. Or what's best for the situation. Right? It's gonna help me. I feel like I'm having a little bit of trouble with this ruler today. I don't know, it's just me. See, I really wish I hadn't trimmed them down. I should have just stuck to what I wanted to do and not trim them, even if the E's were too small. I could have went and cut bigger ones, I guess. Oh well, live and learn. I won't do that again. No way, Jose. No way. I do that again. I hope yours are coming out nice. And it could be just my 1/4 inch. It could be, it did say to do a scant in the book. Who knows? I just sometimes I need to upsize things to make them a little more accurate. Okay, so trim, trim, trim. Cut and cut. All right, so we're going to trim that off. Looking really good here. Now we're doing the ones for the second block. So just a reminder, this is the Flower Farm sampler sew along. We're just sewing together, doing our things, trimming them up, following the book. This is block 9. You can join in anytime, just grab a book. If you missed any of my live, they're also on our YouTube channel. So you can check them out there, like and follow there. I think I'm going to start doing more on there as well. Because that's kind of fun. Just having another place where we can share the work that we're doing and inspire other people to join in. How about it? It's a great way to bring about reconciliation, to work with and for Indigenous people. It's just a great thing to do. And I'm not just saying that because I started it. I'm saying that because that's what other people tell me. They hear about, we celebrate National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, as well as the Orange Shirt Day on September 30th. And people are like, well, what else can I do? Well, this is a way you can help. Make a block, make a top, donate some thread, donate some fabric, give a monetary donation, help with shipping, share so that you don't know who you know. Not everyone shares they're a survivor of residential school. So share our group. Ask people, hey, do you know about this group? Share it. Let people know. That really helps out. Okay. When I push those into there, 90% of them gone into the garbage. I have one more to trim up. I think this is the hardest part of this block is all this trimming because you trimmed and then you trimmed all this trimming. I think that's First part, man, I didn't even get this chair. Okay, so let's set our seams and roll these babies back. You're gonna get, I don't know, a bunch of them. 8, I guess. 2, 5, 6, 8 of them. 8 of them. All right. So super fun. I still don't have my my triangle quilt put together. I'm waiting actually for my other machine to come back. It's just it'll be easier because it's bigger, it has more space. These are big blocks. I think it'll just be easier. So I'm waiting for Helen to come back. Armand is great, but I think it'd be easier with Helen, which is my Husqvarna machine. So that's what I'm waiting. That's what I'm waiting for. And I wanted to make sure that when I came in, because I have 2 design walls, fairly large, not huge, but they're 65 or 62 by 70 something. So I have half here and half over here. I wanted to make sure that I didn't want to move any blocks or change any blocks. So that's another reason why I kind of left it up too. And I'll get that done. And I need to quilt it still. So that'll mean, I don't know if it'll be exciting, but it'll be fun to get that done. Okay, so now what we have, excuse me, is we have 8 for one set and 8 for another. 4 of them will go one way and 4 will go the other way. We're going to set those aside for now. We don't need them anymore. We will need them again later. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take your A. Your A, isn't that a fun print? And then my A for the other one is the opposite, which is really fun. Okay, I'm going to take my markers off. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same. Is it the same? Maybe it's not the same. Just a second. See, 2 at a time, half square triangles. Yep, 2 at a time. So we're going to make 2 at a time. I just wanted to make sure it was 2 at a time. I drew my lines, but I wasn't sure. So we're going to make 2 at a time, just like we did before. We're going to sew 1/4 inch away from the center line, if that's what you drew, using your seam guide or you're using A and E or your diagonal seam tape, whatever you're using to get those lines like that. You could estimate it too, but that might, with these bigger pieces, it might come back with right in the butt. You might not want to do that. Okay, if the blocks are small, unless you have a really good eye for that. I personally do not, so I wouldn't do that. Okay, now it says to trim down. I'm not going to trim these. I'm going to trim them after. So if you want to trim them, go right ahead. I'm going to wait. We have to add something to each of these half square triangles, and I'm going to do that after. Because this needs a little bit of a press. Have a wrinkle in there. So I think these are going to look. I hope it turns out nice. Like I can't really picture things in my head, but I think it'll look really nice once it's done. I hope the polka dots don't throw it off too much, because they can. Okay, but drop the needle over to my foot to turn it around and stitching. Oh, I broke my thread. Damn it. Was so not what I wanted to do. I almost never break my thread on my other machine. So this is just silliness on my part. Okay, so I'm using Ortho 50 weight thread in, what is it? 2309, I think is what I use. It's a creamy color. I think that's what I use. I'll look in a second here. In case you're interested. That's what I use, and I buy it 6 at a time. Like I buy it by the box. which I love. So this is, yeah, 2309. That's what I liked. I bought it, and I just really like it. So that's what I've been using for. Wow, this is so much fun. Having my thread just not listen to me here. So it's a creamy color. It's not really a white. It's not close to cream, but it's, well, it's not really an awful. It's more like a cream. I like it. It blends well with the colors. Oh my God. Okay, there we go. All right, awesome. Okay, let's get back to sewing the other side of this. So one thing there's a couple of things you can do when your machine comes unthreaded is loosen up your top thread a little bit and hold that bottom thread when you first start. That's why I like to chain piece and use leaders and end bill. For whatever reason, that broke at a time, who knows? But I found that those have helped me. Oh, take off my bonus block. I think this is twisted. Or like something or other. I don't have any bonus blocks left. I have to find some. So that. So my bonus blocks could be extra fabric. It could just be those are cutoffs. I have a cutoff. It could be another piece for another block that I'm working on. It could just be a scrap that I'm sewing through. I don't like to cut my threads. I like to be ready. Okay, so now, again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these apart first. Then I'm going to cut the triangle apart so I get 2 from each. So I'll have 4 for each block. And then we're going to do something fancy. So then, and only then am I going to trim them up. Because I don't want to have them too small. I don't want to do that. It will be fun. They're not, I doubt that they're that wonky. Okay, better. So it's apart. Cut on that diagonal line or from corner to corner or in between those other 2 lines. There's lots of ways to get these apart. There's lots of tools, lots of techniques. I'm sure you've heard me say this before. Do what's best for you. What works for you. Don't worry about other people or all the fancy things out there. These get pressed to the print, to the non-background color, whatever that is for you. For me, that's the fun polka dots, which I'm super excited about. So the fun polka dots. Polka dot, polka dot, polka dot, polka dot, polka dot. Oh, I gotta put my stuff in dry. Remind myself to do that. I don't have a big load of laundry because the kids have been at their dad's. They come home tomorrow, they grab whatever it is they need, and then we take off. So that's really fun and exciting. Okay, so now what you're going to do to all of these blocks, all 4 of them, paying careful attention to the seam angles, sew a D square to the lower right corner of a unit. Okay? That you made. So these are the units. You're going to now sew a D square. So the black with white polka dots is going to get away with black polka dots. And then we're going to do the opposite for these ones. Okay? Okay, so take that sticker off. You could reuse these stickers. I don't, because a lot of times they end up getting bent or whatever. So then you're going to sew this you're going to sew on the line. You're going to draw a line and stitch on that line. I am not going, I think it'd be okay to not draw the line. They're not super big. I'm going to use my trusty diagonal seam tape. Okay. And then once this is on, then I'm going to square up the whole block. Because for me, you don't have to do this. This is not how her pattern's written. For me, it works better. I know how I sew, and it just did better. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to you can do it however you want. Okay? This is just how I sew. I hope you're having fun with this block. I know it looked a little scary because we had talked about this before, but it's actually a really fun block. And it's not as hard as you think. There's no candy cane blocks in this one, guys. How exciting is that? This is not a candy cane block. If you don't know what that is, you'll have to go watch one of our previous videos to see what we're talking about. But there is none in here. Actually, I don't think we have to make any anymore. Next week is a smaller block. It's only an 8.5 inch finished block, unfinished block. Woohoo, 4 done, 4 to go. Woohoo! The candy cane. Yes, I love that there's no more of them. Although we were getting pretty good at them. But I am glad they're gone. Half square triangles are pretty common now in a lot of the projects that I make, and they're not that difficult. But I mean, you can't beat a good 4 patch. Right. Okay, I am just trying to line this up so that it looks amazing. Okay, well, it's not lining up completely accurate. Well, we'll just have to make do with almost both. That scared the crap out of me. It must have been stuck at the bottom of this thread, and it scared me when it did that. Oh my gosh, the thread like jumped. Holy crap. Okay. Holy moly. Okay, so we're gonna keep doing that. All right. This is totally awesome. Okay. We are so close. We are almost done. Oh, almost let's have that one. There's a lot of time. Now I need something to put through there. I am just going to, I don't have anything to use. I'm sure I have a scrap somewhere. I'm just going to use this. This is just scrap. I'm just going to head to scrap through. There we go. Okay, we don't have to do double sides. Just one line on these guys. And then we're going to go press. No, we're going to go trim. Well, press them because they get that little curve to them with this when I use this machine. So I'll give them a quick little setting. Press. And then okay. So let's give these a quick little press, okay? Just a quick press so they lay nice and flat so we can cut them. La-da-da-da. These little pieces that we just sewed on make the center of our flower. Okay. So we're going to cut these all up. So I'm just going to lay my ruler, my 1/4 inch seam on there and cut it off. Ooh, now I have some bonus blocks to sew. I'm going to keep these. They're going to be so cute. They're little polka dots. And this polka dot fabric is Tulip Pink. It's from her Line Works collection. The only reason I know that is it still had its salvage and I could read it. Because I was like, I wonder where this polka dot's from. I couldn't remember it. And there you go. So I'm trimming this off 1/4 inch away. I'm going to keep those. I'm going to press everything and then I'm going to trim it to whatever size the book says to trim it to. and I should be good to go. So I'm really looking forward to that. So there's that and that. This one needs to either be pressed one way or the other. It's pressed halfway, and that's no good. Okay. And then there we go. So voila. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Oh, I should close that. And then you're gonna press, and you press towards the corner. And then they're squared up to what the other ones were squared up to. And then we're going to start making the corner units, which really it's all corner units. It's all just these 4 units that you're making. Put them together and you have a block. That's really it. That's all we're doing. Super fun, super simple. So what this does is it makes a nice line between, well, in my case, my polka dot fabrics. Oh, my clock fell down. It's almost 7. We are doing this in record time. This block is definitely not taking us as long. But my clock fell down. Oh, and it stopped working. Oh no, it just fell down. What time is it? 6, almost 7. Yeah, that's what's good. Oh, and there's something stuck in there. Oh, I'm gonna let it go. I need to go get that. Just bear with me. I'm gonna stick my clock. I realized it had fallen. Of course, it's not gonna hang up because everybody's watching. Okay, well, I'll hang it up later. Since it's being, difficult. Okay. So we need this ruler here. That one. We don't need that one right now. So let's trim these up. So that diagonal line is still going to work because half of it is your first block, then this is your background, and then this was the addition. So half of it is this one block. So your diagonal line is going to work to trim these up to that size that you want. So keep that in mind. And half of your block should be whatever your A fabric is. In the pattern, it's like a flowery print. Mine, it's polka dots. So I think they look so cute. And knowing that I can still use that 45-degree line is going to help me make my block accurate. And I am glad I didn't trim down because they are coming out really nice. Would they have still come out nice? I don't know. But I am able to get them really nice. Maybe they would have, who knows? But if I can save a step, let's save a step. Okay. Now, some of them I have to trim off quite a bit. Some of them I don't have to trim off very much at all. The nice thing about the ruler being the size of the block, I just have to line it up. I don't have to try to match up those lines. I'll just put my diagonal line and slide it along there so that I can trim however I need to. And this really seems to work. So maybe it still would have worked. I mean, it still should have worked. It's just that it's easier. And the way that I sew. Not wanting the white ones. So half my blocks are white on the A, black dots, and the other half is the other way. And then just stand. There's so much fabric. All right, you're gonna do this to all 8 of them, 4 for each block. If you didn't change up your colors, that's okay. I only did that for something fun to do. And because it didn't take me very long to pick it. Sometimes I'll just do the same. It took me a long time to pick the fabrics for the one block. And I don't always feel like picking them for the second, but this is fun. Okay. So I'm lining it up. Some of them are not perfect. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm looking for nice and accurate as I can get it. The better I can do it, the happier I am. Oh, I forgot to trim that part, but maybe it was fine. Oh, just a little. Well, since I realigned it, I might as well trim off a little bit. That's there. Oh, I put something there. Oh, that one. I was like, why is there only one block left and 3 in that pile? Okay, rotate it. Again, trying to get it nice and organized. Okay, there we go. This one is not pressed correctly because I could tell it wasn't pressed right because half of it was going one way, half of it was going another way. So those are those. Okay. I'm gonna keep this straight now. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, let's get a design board, because that just makes life so much easier. Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's a comment. I don't think I missed a comment. If I did, I'm sorry. You can just ask again. I was too busy focusing on what I was doing. Okay, so we're gonna make 4 blocks exactly the same way, and then we just rotate them around, and then we fill them together like a 4 patch, and then we're done. So we're gonna make a mini 4 patch, then we're going to make a larger 4 patch with our 4 patches. So what you're going to do is take these blocks first, and you're going to take, you want the blue, your this is your fabric 3 or fabric 2, sorry, no, yeah, fabric 3D to be next to this white block every time. So you can see here, and you want your background facing outwards. So there are, 2 different blocks, and then you want your C fabric or your fabric 7 to be pointing towards that center. And then in this block, this is where you want your cute little block we just made, and you want your big half square triangle to point towards the center there. Okay, oh, this is gonna be so cool. Okay, so there's my first one. I'm gonna fill that 4 times. It's 4 patch. Don't need my little tray anymore. Okay, I will put that over there. Okay, so these are Lori Holt design boards. Someone gave them to me. I did buy a few. I love them. I don't have time to make my own. I don't want to take time to make my own. I've got too much stuff to sell. So I really enjoy those. And I will need to get some more because I love them so much. Okay, so again, oops, see that one? Doesn't, if I put it here, this isn't to the background, to the back, to the outer part of the block. So that's how I know it doesn't go there. Oops. And then this one and these 2. There we go. And then we're going to add our blocks again. Now remember, I swapped these around. So one block will have the black polka dots at the center, and the other one will have the white. So they're 2 different blocks. and I changed them up a little bit so they look super cute. So all of these 4 pieces are the same size, so it works like a 4-pack. So we're gonna sew these together. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can sew all of the tops together, then all of the bottoms, and line them up and then sew them together. You can do, and you can do one block at a time. You can do whatever. I'm gonna sew the blue ones first, and then also the coral one after. But I think that will be easier for me. And I'm gonna sew the top 2 and then the bottom 2, and then I'll go back to the top 2. And that's normally how I sew them together. There's no right or wrong way. And I always sew these 2 together. Like I seen a pattern where she sewed these 2 together and then these like this. I never do it that way. I always do it this way. From left to right instead of top to bottom. But it all works out the same anyway. Because the blocks go together and it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then in the pattern, it tells you which way to press. So you will have those instructions there. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Don't like that going down there because that pulls. I feel like it tugs on my fabric. So just lining them up, making sure they're nice and straight. You know, got nice 90-degree angles. And lining up nice. If we were able to trim them, they should all be the same size or roughly the same size. Because some of my pieced units are a little smaller or a little, you know, just a little different. But that's okay. It's all going to go together. I know I'm going to notice that one is like a smidge different than the other. Because that smidge will be hidden in the seam of ours. And one more. And again, I'm going to sew one block and then I'll sew the other block. And I should have time. Sometimes, yep, get them all done. Our other classes have been 2 hours. This one will not be that long, but we are almost at the finish line. Bonus block going through. These are the ones that I cut off. So I'll just save them for some future project. Okay. So now we'll cut these in sets. In sets, that's just a scrap. Then you're going to open them and you're going to press. This one goes, you're going to press towards that funky block, our first unit with the 3 colors, okay? That's what it says in there for your seam allowance, for your pressing instructions. Do it that way. You could press them open if you really wanted to, if you're worried about bulk, but it's not necessary. So again, just watching. Oops. Little away from me, my little petal. These are really big petal. Okay, so there's one. Go down. Again, you can press it if you find that it's easier for you. Press it with your iron, and then you know you have a nice, accurate press. And it might just go together a little easier. Okay. So now, I'm just gonna line them up and sew them together. Okay. I can actually cut that off because it's getting so this hand off. So just cut it and toss it. And if we press everything according to the instructions, everything will nest. We'll press those at the end. So let's press these. Let's press these. This is just being stupid. If your thread in between is giving you issue, just snip them apart. That is definitely the easiest thing to do. My cord is stuck in between my two tables. I couldn't find the perfect L-shaped table. So I just bought two tables that work for now, anyways. And then lay those together. And we're gonna stitch down. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Let's do this one now. I'm gonna actually cut my cord. Press. Set my seams and press. So everything is nice. It seems to just work with your head. So might as well press. Go. Get these laid out. Together we go. Hi, Bunny. Hi, Bunny. Hi, Bunny. How are you? Oh, you want to come up? Okay, come on. What you're gonna do, but you can sit. How about you sit there? Mama's sewing. Hi. 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 I don't want you to fall. No, I don't want you to fall. No, 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 no. I'm gonna put you down. Okay. So that's Miss Bunny, our little pom. She's super cute. We love her. She's doing really well, actually. She's been having less accidents. She is 6 months old tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. It's doing really well, actually. I'm pretty proud. At first, I was like, I don't think I'm doing this whole party house training thing very good. And I was talking to Ben. She's like, no, no, you're doing just like, oh, okay. It takes about, it takes them, it can take them up to a year to be house trained. I was like, oh, here I thought I was failing miserably. And he's like, no, no, you're fine. I was like, oh, well. I was glad I asked because it made me feel better. But this is the first dog that I have trained by myself. No other adults in the house. So the other puppies we had, which way is this going? Down. I had a partner who helped me to train them, or my parents trained them, or I don't know. But this is the first one that I'm mostly doing it by myself, with some help. So I was a little bit nervous, to say the least, about, I wanted to make sure that I was doing a good job. Okay. So this is another one of those moments. It tells you what to trim it to. I don't trim it. I'm not going to trim them. I'll trim the block at the end for 16.5, but I won't trim the individual units. There it is. I think it looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. So now we're going to lay it out like a 4-patch, and all of your little triangle goes to the center. So it makes its flower star, which is called, I don't remember what it's called, paper whites. Paper whites flower is. I'll have to look it up and see. Because they're supposed to be flowers. It's called the Flower Farm Sampler. What's fine. So I'm gonna lift up my pressure foot just because it's fabric didn't quite fit under there. This is very exciting. We are so close to having one block done. What about their piece? I'm just gonna cut that and cut it back because it just gets too much. Okay, so that's done. Then I'm gonna flip this one over. So excited. Last week I didn't sew my block together. My second block, I did change something in it. One of the blocks had some salvage in it. And I thought I could sew it. And then I thought, well, maybe you won't notice it. And then Jojo came in and she noticed it. So I did take it out. I replaced it. It wasn't hard. Sewed it back together and that block was done. I've hung them up so they're not readily available to show you. But we are halfway done. This seems like it's pressed on. Pressed. It's not pressed as accurately as it should be. I'm just going to give this another little press just so that it's accurate. There is a bit of dog ear on there still. Nothing wrong with going and pressing your block again or making sure it's accurate. Oh, not again. I knew that was going to happen. As soon as I stitched, I was like, it's going to freaking break. It's pissing me off. Only slightly. I'm to the end. You could have just let me go. Hi, lady. What are you up to? I'm almost done, then I'll let you out. Oh, it totally came unthreaded here. I think it's fine now. It totally came out. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Into the eye of the needle. You go lay down in your bed. She's got beds all over the place. She's got a bed at work. She's got a bed at the camper. She's got a bed upstairs, downstairs, everywhere. In Jojo's room. Is that in there? Oh, it is. Okay, for a second I thought it wasn't in there. It was just. It's fine. Okay. Line it up. Okay. I think if I was on my faster machine, I would have been done. And if I had run on a bobbin, I wouldn't have had to make one. I would have had one made already. But that's okay. You know, things happen. Life happens. These are really fun blocks. I think they're going to look absolutely amazing. And in the quilt with everything else, I think everything's just going to look so awesome. I'm so excited. Because now we just have to make small blocks. We don't have to make these big blocks. So the book, Shelley Cavanagh is doing, the lady who wrote this pattern, oops, don't tell me it broke again. Seriously, oh, it just unthreaded. Wrote this pattern. When you chain piece, it shouldn't break on you. Like it shouldn't unthread on you. Anyways, she is doing a sew along. You do have to have the book. I don't know what media she's doing it on. If it's just sometimes people do a sew along, but you don't really sew with them. They just kind of show a little video and kind of just left their own time and place to sew. She's actually doing it from the back of the book to the front. So from simpler blocks, simpler piecing to the more intricate piecing. At the bigger blocks, it's a lot. We're doing it just chronologically. And I think that works because you're using, all your big piecing. So when you get to the end, you'll have all these little pieces of fabric as opposed to trying to make I would be worried that if I miscut or cut something poorly, that I won't have the fabric I want for those larger cuts. So think bigger to smaller is better. I don't know. Maybe it's not. What do I know? Come on. I'm getting tired of threading this needle. I might need to change my needle because it keeps being stupid. I'll have to find my needle threader. This is just crazy. Come on. Let's reset this. Trying to be patient, but I'm getting a little frustrated. We can't have any more breakage. Not today's. I thought I would be done before 8. Well, oh my God. Sorry. Just seriously, I had to break at the end when I was gonna sew something else through it. I had to be a jerk. This is very unusual. Very. If you live or walk, this never happens. This never happens. It probably means it. Okay, you can just hang out for a couple more friggin' blocks. It's not like it's a lot. Okay. And being successful in your block making, doing better than I am with these crazy blocks, crazy machine unthreading like that. I don't know why. Mostly, I don't know. Come on now, let's go. What are you doing? Now it's being difficult. Okay. So you like stitching? Every time I get to the end, it breaks. What is going on with this thing? That is not normal. Okay. I will work on my second block after, if I can get this one last seam, I can show you my finished block. I think you know, do I have a needle? Just take a regular needle. Because that is really getting on my nerves. Let's take this needle out. Because I'm pretty sure the needle is finished. I don't actually remember the last time I changed the needle. No, it is. Okay. Pretty sure it goes in like this. Yep. Put it in there. Okay, tighten it up. Oh, I think I might have put it in wrong because now it's on. No, it's gotta go in. It's That was better. Okay. Well, that didn't take as long as I thought it would. Hi. I can't help you right now. You gotta wait. I'm trying to thread my needle for like the 15th time tonight. A little thin. All right. Right under. I don't have any cup. I have a used container somewhere. Those are not yours. I'm gonna put that over there. Just put it in there to put it away after. Okay. Let's put these two together. I hope you're all doing well in your block making or in whatever you're working on. Well, let's get this going. Okay. So we have everything ready to go. It might have just been needle. Now I hope I put the needle in correct. I'm a little like nervous about that because I don't. This is probably. Oh, it's not sewing. Only like my second time putting a needle in this machine, or third time maybe. No, I think it's only if it's my first or second. Must be my second. Seriously, like what? Changed it? This is what happens sometimes, even with long arming. Sometimes it just is being a pain in the rear end. And it can get very frustrating. Don't let it get you frustrated. You can always just stop, take a break, and come back, a day later, an hour later, 5 minutes later, whatever you need to do. Don't let this control what you're doing. If there was, maybe there was a thread in there. Who knows? And I know that past experience is sometimes it's better to just walk away and come back. So let's see. I'm just so disappointed because this isn't normal for me. But that's why we go live. You can see all of the craziness that is this. Is this needle in right? Like, is it loose? No, it doesn't feel like it's neat. It doesn't feel like it's anything. Okay. Where's that scrap? All right. If I can't get this sewn, I will just have to do it later. And I apologize. See, every single time it just breaks at the end. I don't need you to break. I don't have no thread cutter there. Okay. I don't know what is going on. That never, it's not working. And then it's making thread in there. Maybe there's something, okay. Maybe there's a piece of fluff or fabric or dust in my little thing here. So I'm gonna go in here and see because there might be something in my little tweezers. These are not the best tweezers. Those are not the ones. Oh, these. The nice thing is there's not a lot of fancy parts to this machine. Let's just flip it up. There's a thread stuck here that might be what's causing all of these other issues. Is this stupid thread stuck here? Oh, it's coming. I'm gonna turn off the light because it's shining right in my eye. Taking it out. It's really jammed in there. I don't know if I can get it out. Oh, maybe by turning it, I can pull it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it and pull it, so hopefully it'll come out. Oh, I got most of it out. And now this part here. There was a thread stuck in there. Or actually, I don't know if it's all one thread. There's more than one thread. We're gonna get rid of that baby. It's probably what's causing all these problems. Oh, it's coming, it's coming. Oh. Well, this turned out to be very interesting. So along, it's like so along with a mini picture machine. Oh, did I get it? Where did it go? Where did that thread go now? There you go. This it's coming around slowly. Let's grab it. Oh, come on. Now that I'm knee deep into this, I'm just going to try to finish what I'm doing here. Come on, I'll be able to come out of that. There we go. Nope. Still in there. There's part of it. Okay, maybe now I can get it. Oh, I got it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, there's a how many friggin' thread up here? Oh my god, how did all this get in here? I would like to know. Maybe everything was breaking. No, it's not. Okay, it's not anything there. So I'm just gonna give it a turn here. There's no bobbin in here. And just make sure that no more thread comes out. So there was a little bit of thread wrapped around that bobbin casing. Quite a bit, actually, considering I didn't think there was anything in there. So let's put the bobbin back in. I want to make sure my needle's in the right position. And I'm going to put my bobbin back in. No, I don't want the bobbin to come out. So put that bobbin back in there. Perfect. It's in, it's safe. Okay, look at the hole. Now my beans want to come. Let's see, that's it now. Let's just wrap around. Okay. Okay. Thanks again, then I'm at a loss. I seriously have no idea what to do. I'm not reading any comments right now. I'm just going to focus on getting this blah, 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 blah piece working. We're not going to call it names because it's not necessary, but I have some few choice words to say. I'm telling you. I hope you guys are getting close to being done or are done. They look like they're going to be beautiful blocks. Oh, I think my battery's running. Oh, it's running low. I should be okay. On YouTube there, that camera's running low. It shouldn't have been because this should have been done. Oh, no, it's too, something is too tight. Oh no, I don't know. Something was too tight. That one I broke myself. Did I mention I was sort of done?